very few people appreciate about London streets with their own range of shops. These roads interconnect different areas and are less explored than the more busy streets that we're about to approach. And where we're about to approach is Regent Street, one of the nicer looking roads in London. A road that is lined with mid to high-end shops, including iconic names such as Apple, Hamleys, and some of the more high-end, lesser well-known, but of great repute shops such as Church's, the Bootmakers, Hackett, being one of the more elegant streets with the beautiful cream white facades. It is a very popular place for tourists and locals to visit and walk along, connecting Oxford Street with its low-end chain shops, with Piccadilly and its entertainment themed areas popular amongst theatre goers and the like. Central London on a Thursday night is often quite busy, sometimes more busy than a Friday night, because on Friday, of course, most people who work are in a rush to get home. Meaning Thursday is a day enjoyed by those who want to revel. You notice how most of the cars on Regent Street are taxis, Ubers or buses, because of course driving in London is an expensive nightmare. There's nowhere really safe to park. The congestion getting into London is horrendous. There are even fees for entering London, making it extremely unpopular for drivers to enter. The public transport is no more appealing, but the prospect of not persevering through hours of relentless traffic are often an attractive option for visitors and locals alike. Navigation in London along the streets as a pedestrian is always fraught with the discrepancy between people walking with a purpose and people dawdling along, enjoying the ambient touristic sightseeing vibe that is infected. So we approach Piccadilly. So sunsets in London can be quite dramatic. So excursion through dramatic clouds, past, continuing on to the end of Regent Street and its elegant curve, and approaching Piccadilly at sunset, which will be getting increasingly busy over the next half an hour to an hour as crowds assemble. Making our way back across on the other direction of Regent Street. London, and in particular areas that are so well dressed as Regent Street, look especially pleasant on evenings. The colours of the brickwork especially suited to the warm tones of the sky, and such sights are rare, for in the grey they don't always look so inviting. It never ceases to amaze me how the aesthetic of books and some of the classics persists to be alive in the facade of some of the shops, and Halligan's appearing as an apothecary. Perhaps as one did hundreds of years ago. It is surprisingly quiet in London today. Ignore the traffic. The traffic is persistent. I refer more to the density of people on the streets. Normally, we would be struggling to navigate at any sensible speed. But today is an exception, even though the weather is quite pleasant, which normally brings out the masses. It never ceases to amaze me how there can be such areas of quiet in prime locations. I mean, I don't know the rent of this restaurant, but the fact that it's got no one eating makes one wonder. One of the things that's worth remembering about London is that its prime central real estate is amongst the most valuable in the world. Makes it tough for businesses that are small, enabling really just the few who want to have the show of a flagship or a prime store in a prime location, rather than what London was once full of. Unique stores selling things that you would not be able to find anywhere else in the world. One-of-a-kind stores that no longer exist and perhaps have ceased to exist only really in recent decades. For there was a time where you would find many, many more than you would today, and that's a time that I can recall. We're about to approach one of the most busy areas in central London. Oxford Circus gets so busy that one of the most advanced countries in the world cannot cope and has to close its tube station, which is a fantastic reflection of how lacking the state of this country and this city has become.
Right, so shall I go to Moorgate then?
Let's be honest, London is in decline. It's dirty and overstretched, but at least some of it still looks